Hey, welcome to Man Cave. I am Pastor Al Parker, and tonight I am joined by a plethora of African American men and young men. I want to thank you for joining us on tonight. This is an incredible night in Man Cave Moments. And tonight our theme is I Can't Breathe. Y'all say that with me. I can't breathe. Say it one more time. I can't breathe. And because our dear friend George Floyd cannot breathe, we cannot breathe. And so tonight we want to approach what's going on in America from a different angle, and we want you to hear from many of the African American men in our community, from law enforcement, black fathers, black clergy, and also black young African American men from our community. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on tonight. Yo, DJ, cut that beat. That's what I always want to say. So listen, on tonight, we just want to welcome you again. We're going to have some dialogue tonight. So much going on in our world. We are tired. We are frustrated. We are mad. And yes, we are angry. And so many people are saying, why are black people so angry? And a lot of times you confuse our volume with violence. Our volume is not violence. Our volume is simply frustration from all of the things that we've endured for decades and even centuries. And today, we will not shut up. We will not be quiet. We will not go quietly in the dark. We're standing up, we're stepping up, and we're believing God that a change is going to come, because we will not stop until we get change. All right? So tonight we're going to be fluid, fellas. We're going to be loose. We're going to have a good time, right? And we're going to ask a few questions to kind of get this panel going. I have joining me tonight Micah. We got Shaquay, right? Deshay, I said that wrong. Deshay. We'll edit that. We got Deshay, all right, and we got Chris, all right?
Hello.
All right, so they're with us tonight. Got a couple of questions that we're going to get started with. First question is, have you ever felt like your life was threatened by a white police officer? Anybody can answer that.
Yes, because at school, like when I'm walking to my class, the police officer would just walk up to me and tell me to get to class, which I'm going to class.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just minding your own business, walking to class, regular pace, not dragging, not hanging out, chilling, or causing any problems, and they just walk up to you without purpose and just feel like they have their need to tell you to do what you're already doing.
Right.
Gotcha. Anybody else?
Yes. There was this officer one time. He was asking me all types of questions that were very intrusive about my family, and I don't know. It just kind of gave me a fenced feeling, I guess, an over the edge feeling. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So that's important that we understand and have these type of dialogues, because these type of platforms and forums allow us to discuss how we're feeling. And something that happens a lot, especially in our culture as black people, is that when we don't get the opportunity to get it out, it builds up on the inside. And what normally happens is rage follows, right? So let me ask another question, right? Have you ever felt afraid of a police officer, even when you know you weren't doing anything wrong?
I would say yes, because it's really intimidating, knowing that they're supposed to protect you, but then they're coming to you when you've done nothing.
They've taken a vow that says they're going to serve and they're going to protect, but they're coming at you in such a way when you haven't done anything wrong, right? Yeah. Anybody else? You ever felt afraid of a police officer even though you know you didn't do anything wrong?
Many times, it would be me and my cousin usually going into the store, and then whenever a police would be there, all eyes would be on us. And we wouldn't do anything, we paid just like regular people, but something was different every time we went in that store.
Wow. So minding your own business, paying with your money just like every other race does, but it just seems like there was some harassment going on because of something you were not even doing, right? Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that, Bishop? Okay. All right, another question. Here's one that's really important. Now, this is pretty deep. Now, and be honest, dude, I know there's police officers in the audience right now, but the question is, do you trust police officers?
Yes, I do. My family has been around with authority for a while. My uncle, he's a fireman. Other people in my family are police officers. I trust them. I feel okay around them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So there are officers in your family. You know that they're good people. They do the right thing, and you don't have a reason not to trust them, right? And so what happens is, for that reason, sometimes it makes it easier to trust other police officers because you already know some officers that do the right thing, right? Now, what about you guys? Do y'all trust officers? Deshae?
Yes, I do.
You trust police officers. Tell me why. A little bit louder.
I can't explain it.
Yeah. But you trust them. Micah?
Absolutely not. I mean, I have high respect for police officers, but
Right.
In retrospect, you have to give respect to earn respect.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Kill that. I like that. So you have to give respect to earn. You have to earn. Give respect. Give respect to get respect. Right. So I like that because, you know, it's not just the badge and the gun that gets you respect. Right. It's because you've shown some respect that you get respect. And the amazing part about it is, and we'll talk about this when we get to our segment with our law enforcement, but it's important that we understand the purpose and the oath and the vow that officers take, which is to protect and to serve the community, right? And that's not just white America. That's not just our white community. That's not just our rich community. I'll share recently, I own several properties in San Antonio, and we were renovating or flipping a property, like a home makeover, and I was standing across the street from one of my properties talking to a neighbor in the community from a house we were renovating. My car was facing in the opposite direction of where that normal traffic flow would go. But I always do that, occasionally. And so before I could get back across the street, an officer pulled up, jumped out of their vehicle, and wrote me a ticket on the east side of San Antonio. So now, if those of you guys that are familiar with San Antonio, now we got cars parked across the grass. We got cars that been on flat for 2 years. We got all of that. But what has happened is, with gentrification, now money is moving back to the east side. And so now tickets that were not written 2 years ago, you're getting them today. When it used to take police officers 10 minutes to show up to a crime, now they're showing up in 1 minute or 2 minutes because money has moved back to that side of town. But when you take the oath ought not be based upon the color of our skin, right, Chris? And it ought not be based upon how much money we have in our bank account. It ought to be based upon the fact that you've been hired, you've been trained, and you've taken an oath and a vow to serve and protect all of the citizens. All right. Here's the last thing that I want to ask. Actually, two more questions I want to ask. What have your parents taught you to do whenever you encounter a police officer? Anybody?
Me first. All
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
To put my hands on the dashboard if I get caught while I'm in a car, make sure I speak calmly and respectfully. Don't make any sudden movements.
Wow. Yeah,
Because
that's
that
true.
causes agitation or something.
No, go ahead. Say it loud.
And if I get caught in the street, make sure I calmly just raise my hands and drop all my stuff.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? What have you been taught to do if you encounter a police officer?
Wherever I am, just drop my stuff. Speak calmly, like stay calm, and to get on the floor, like do what they tell me to do. And
Yeah. All right. Anything to say? All right. And so that's important because do you think, how old are you, Micah?
14.
How old are you, Deshae?
14.
How old are you, Chris?
14.
Oh, wow. I'm 14. I feel super old tonight. All right. I thought somebody was going to say 17, 16. All right. But do you think a 14-year-old white male has to do the same thing you have to do?
No, I've seen it in school many times.
Explain, please.
We'd be in the office over some altercation, and so we'll have to go to ISS or something. We'll
In
have
school
to
suspension?
yeah, we'll have
Okay.
to sit in a classroom for the rest of the day, and some kid usually just goes to a principal's office and then literally just gets a slap on the wrist.
Wow.
Wow. Do you think white kids your age go through the same thing? You not only at school, but even in the do you think their parents have to have the same conversation with them that they have to have with you guys?
I think they should, because while I was at school, there was one. I want to say what? All right.
Yeah.
There was one officer altercation where they thought this kid did something else,
Right.
and this kid knew he didn't do anything, but he kept on walking away. So then they went up to him, handcuffed him, and brought him into the office.
Okay.
White kid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So important question, and then we'll close with this. What would you like to say to white America tonight? Is there anything that you think white kids your age should know about how you feel about what you have to go through? Anything you want to say to them in regard to what you have to go through as young black men? Anybody?
This stuff is not reality TV. It's real. All of the TikToks on the I can't breathe, white on white, knees on knees and stuff, that's just not right. It's not a joke. It doesn't feel good to have to walk down the hallways, to walk down the streets having people call you the N-word and say that's why your dad left. These are stereotypes that we have to deal with, and I don't think y'all fully understand that we are tired. And that's what I have to say.
All right. Well, listen, that's our segment with our young black men tonight. Very important that you understand this is not a black thing. It's not a black man thing. This is an American issue. And it's going to take every race. It's going to take all genders to understand that we are tired. At 14 years old, these young men are tired. And we're going to continue to make noise. We're going to continue to do broadcasts like this. We're going to continue to put it right in front of your faces until all of America knows that young black men, young Christian men, black families, we're not going to settle until there's a change in America, and we're believing God that things are going to get better, but they're not going to get better by us being quiet. So we do not have to put down our Christianity in order for us to be African American and get justice in America. We're coming back with some cops from the local city.